Tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
I'll be taking you through what the weather is like today in Iowa and what's going to expect later this week.
Plus, I have your national forecast. All that and more as this Tuesday, April 6th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to Size Eyes. I'm now joined by Anna. It's nice to be back in the studio here, isn't it?
It is very nice just to be able to make things together with all of these people and all these equipment and just make a really nice creation.
Yeah, things are starting to feel a lot more normal as we get closer to summer, isn't it?
Yes, and we can definitely feel like what the summer is going to feel like as we have these nice warm temperatures these past several days.
And now it's time for tonight's weather story. On this day in 1987, rain and melting snow caused flooding from New England to Ohio. Flooding in the Merrimack Valley of Massachusetts was the worst in 50 years, causing $42 million in damage. Welcome back to Size Eyes. We're going to take a look at the watches and warnings around the southern part of the country. As you look up here, we got some severe thunderstorm watches up in Kansas and Nebraska. We got a couple warnings right in that middle of that watch area. We got some flood warnings all the way down through the Dixie Alley area. Had some major flooding there throughout the whole spring so far, so that's some big concerns. As we move on to the temperatures around the country, we got some warm temperatures for the time of year right around the central of the country. Cooler temperatures up to the north, we got 47 all the way up in Maine. Right in the center near the mountains, Denver, 37 degrees. That's very below average for this time of year. Very cold air right over there. So you look at the headlines for this week, we got stormy and wet weather ahead this week, strong storms in the south, and a pleasant week to start next week. Look at the severe weather outlook. Right where that severe weather watch was earlier, right in the Kansas and Nebraska area, we got a slight risk for severe weather for some damaging winds and hail, a very slight chance of tornadoes, but not that big of a threat. That threat, even though it's marginal, goes all the way up into Minnesota for overnight hours tonight. As we look at the future cast for the weather this week, as you can see, we got some rain moving through the central and upper Midwest, some storms associated with that. As the severe weather from Nebraska and Kansas moves across Iowa, it'll fizzle out a little bit, but some pretty decent rains associated with that. As you see the surface low down there moving up towards Iowa, we got some rain all the way with that as it pushes a line through Arkansas, Missouri, and through Dixie Alley down in the south. So move ahead to Thursday, we got the rain sticking around in the upper Midwest with showers and thunderstorms all the way up in Minnesota, Wisconsin, even the UP of Michigan. As we move into Thursday night, those storms and showers stick around. It's going to be a very wet week as the clouds stick around with it. We'll take a look at the severe weather threat for Wednesday down in Arkansas, northern Louisiana, and Mississippi, as it's a slight risk. That risk has some tornado risk associated with it, and also some pretty good hail and strong winds with that as well. As we look at the future cast for that system moving through, as you can see, the low pressure is pushing through a cold front, and the storms will start to fire up right there along the cold front as it passes through Arkansas Wednesday evening into overnight hours Wednesday night. Those will start to fizzle out and leaves just some lingering showers in Alabama, up into Tennessee, even up into Kentucky. As we look at the forecast highs around the country tomorrow, is very warm down in the south and down into Texas, 89, close to 90 degrees down in San Antonio. You can see we got some cold air moving into the upper Midwest as we got 60s for a high, but that will cool down as the day and the week goes on. Warmer temperatures out in the west as the low pressure begins to move out and high pressure begins to settle in. As we look a week ahead in our selected city of Little Rock, got that chance for severe weather in the storms on Wednesday with a high of 72. Temperatures, all they do for the rest of the week is begin to warm up, and all we have for the rest of the week is sunshine and a few clouds. For the weather trivia question today, the question is, what date was the latest snowfall recorded in Iowa history? Was it A, May 28, 1947, B, June 2nd, 1963, C, April 23rd, 1976, or D, May 11th, 1934? We'll have your answer coming up. Now let's have a look at the week ahead with Anna after the break.
Tonight, all current conditions in Ames right now, all very warm and very cloudy with a chance of rain later coming up. It feels like 74 degrees with very comfortable, nice dew points at 52 degrees and some moderate winds about 15 degrees. Now across the state, we have about 70-degree temperatures, mid-70s to low 70s. It is a very nice night, I would say. Later tonight, we could have some chances of rain and thunderstorms coming up. And through this week, right now, we have an area of low pressure down by Kansas. And over the coming week, that area of low pressure is going to move up and through Iowa, and it's going to bring lots of clouds and precipitation and possible thunderstorms with it, and also some cooler temperatures. So later in the week, we're going to have things cool down, but not very much, maybe 50s and 60s. And then there was going to be lots and lots of rain. Over the next couple days, as I said before, it's going to cool down. Tomorrow, it's still going to get up to the 70s, but not near the 80s like it has for the last couple days. And then it's going to continue, and then it's going to continue into the 50s and 60s over the next several days. The winds are going to be moderate, around 10s, 20s for the next several days, and they're going to be coming from the south mostly, but then they're going to start to switch as that cold front comes through, so that over the next several days, we're going to have chances of storms throughout the state in different areas, mostly across the state. Our forecast for tonight right now has a low of about 58 degrees, cloudy, and a chance of thunderstorms tonight as the weather system moves in and things start to change. Wednesday, we're going to start to get some of that rain I talked about with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s going throughout the day, and then some moderate winds around 10, 15 miles per hour from the south-southeast. And then throughout the rest of the week, we're going to have lots of rain and storms, a bit cooler temperatures than what we're used to, but still very nice, I would say. Your weekend, things are going to start to clear up, and you should have a nice window for which you can do things on Sunday. So if you have some friends that you want to go to the park with, that would be a great day to spend the afternoon with them. It should be very nice.
Now let's take a look again at that weather trivia question. The question is, what date was the latest snowfall recorded in Iowa history? And the correct answer for that one was May 28th, 1947. It's pretty late in the year for snowfall in Iowa, isn't it?
I know, it would be a big bummer, I think.
I don't know, I think it'd be pretty cool, but no pun intended there.
It would, I guess. I can't argue with that.
And it looks like we got 64% of the people on Twitter got that correct. I wonder who the 9% who selected D were. I didn't know what the answer was. It was a pretty good job for the people out there in the Twitter world.
Yeah, I'm impressed that so many people knew that fact.
And that concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on YouTube under Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday.